You learn a lot on your first job. The rabbit. I really love the atmosphere in there, but as a professional. Dancing Rats for Princess Fiona. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about my experience on Shrek The Musical UK and Ireland tour. My name is Leo and I play the White Rabbit in Shrek The Musical. So I'm going to start at the very beginning. It was my first job as well, first tour. From beginning to end, I just learned from everyone and it was just so nice. And it's true what they say, you learn a lot on your first job because there are things that you learn on the first job that you don't learn at drama school. It's a completely different ball game. So the audition, I was still training at drama school. So I was doing my third year musical while auditioning, having to come out of a few rehearsals to do professional auditions. I might be very wrong. So the first day of auditions, dance into singing. The audition after that, I did an acting round. And then the week after that, I did a singing acting round and then a dance final. And then we had to be the rabbit. So that was really fun. And then I remember meeting my friend Natasha, who played young Fiona, Baby Bear. We went back on the train tube together and it was so wholesome because we were saying like, oh, imagine if we'd get in and it would just be so amazing. And then little did we know we'd be touring together. Literally the week after I found out that I got the part. I was about to go on an adventure around the UK and to be doing Nick Winston choreo as well, buzzing with energy. Cut into June, we started rehearsals for a whole month. We did our tech in Plymouth, which was a gorgeous theatre. We teched there for 1 week and then we did our first performances the second week. So let me talk about theatres. All in all, we went to 31 theatres, so I'll list them down here. My most favourite venues were all in Scotland, I think, because I just love the Scots. I love you Scots. In Glasgow, there were a lot of places to eat, there are a lot of places to see, and I really loved the way the structure was with the buildings. It was just gorgeous. And it felt a bit like New York, but like an old New York, if you know what I mean. There's like a bit of the hint of that. Edinburgh was nice. I think it's because my digs were literally 2 minutes away, my accommodation. In Edinburgh, there's this vintage shop that I really loved. I popped into there like twice because I live near it and it was just so beautiful. And then Aberdeen was gorgeous because serene nature. I went on a hike with a friend. Can't remember the mountains, but it's up here. And it was just so beautiful. I just love Scotland. I think I generally loved anywhere by the sea, like Plymouth and Southend on Sea, because it was just so calming and I loved it. Of course, I absolutely love being in Southampton, where my hometown is. I used to do the summer youth projects every year and it was just so nostalgic coming back, but as a professional rather than a kid. And this was the last show I did. If you guys want to pop over and see this vlog that I did years ago, that was at the Mayflower. I really love Dublin as well, to be fair, but I was really ill that week so I didn't get to enjoy the fullness of Dublin, but we had so much space with our dressing rooms. I really love the atmosphere in there. So cool, like the way it's built. It's like an edge. Bristol as well. I feel like Bristol would be the perfect city for me because it just feels so vibrant and so artistic. I can't choose. I love every theatre for their own uniqueness, their personality. Obviously the city around it, like, it was just all so different. However, I will say, so the Leicester Curve was personally one of my favourites, and I know some people might not like it because it's so weird and wonderful and wacky. It's basically like the theatre's in the middle of the building and then surrounding it is just like the entrances and exits, and there's like a canteen, toilets, dressing rooms are upstairs. So with the shows at the Leicester Curve, it's so amazing because they lift the covers. Audience, when they come out, they can see the performers, they can see us like go out, because obviously like it's a circle, so there's literally like there's no way to get through but through the passing audience. There was a way underground as well, but it was just quicker to go past the audience. And another interesting one was York. So we had to cut a bit of the set. It's such a small theatre and the backstage was so small, but we managed it and we gave everyone a show and it was such an experience. I love the Wales Millennium Centre. I remember loving it because theatre's just gorgeous. Our longest stop was in Blackpool. We were there for 3 weeks. Personally, I just love Blackpool because it feels like it's a place where it's stuck in time in the best way. And there was just something so charming about it. Funny Girls. If you guys go to Blackpool, you need to go to Funny Girls. It's the best thing. Just an incredible drag show. So well done. And to have spent Christmas as well. It was my first time spending Christmas away. You know, we made the most of it, and yeah, it's just really nice and cozy. One of the biggest highlights from the first half of our tour was Blue Peter. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. So there were 4 of us ensemble members plus Princess Fiona, Shrek, Donkey and the Dragon. And we all were in York at the time. We had to travel to Manchester to go to the BBC studios. It was such an experience. Doing it live on stage in the theatre is completely different to doing it in a studio being filmed, and I think 4 takes or 3, no, we did like 2 or 3 takes and we were out of breath. I tell you, it was so difficult, especially in my costume and my prosthetic. I had a lot of fun and it was just so enjoyable to see the kids as well. Kids really enjoyed it on Blue Peter. I'll insert a clip here.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else and not for me.
And then we travelled and then did the evening show. Another highlight for me was being in Norwich, where I did an Easter egg hunt, and it was the most fun thing ever. Being the White Rabbit, I thought, oh, let's do an egg hunt. So I had this wanted poster. Cast and crew had to do was find these criminals around the stage area. Each of the Easter criminals, they'd have a number on them, and that would correlate to one of the eggs. It was just nice to see everyone with that childhood spark, that magic again. Oh my gosh, one of my favourite moments was we were in Leicester and the dragon's jaw dropped. As in, literally dropped. The bottom bit of the dragon's jaw fell on the floor. I also got to visit Birmingham, and that's where I studied for 2 years. My videos back in the day, it was nice to see my teachers again, and for the college to come and watch the show. As we got to the end of the tour, everyone was really tired. In Cheltenham, we had 6 people off, and it was crazy. One of them being me, by the sounds of what they were telling me. They really smashed it out of the park. Thanks to the dance captain making the cuts, and yeah, Jamie, you're amazing. We still were able to do the show because we had 4 swings in total. They're just magic. Swings are the best people, and understudies, the best people in the biz. The sets and props. We had Gingy, which was played by the gorgeous Georgie Buckland. He was incredible, you guys. The Gingy puppet was so adorable. It's like the film replica, like, especially on the torture rack. It was so clever how they did it, but I won't ruin the magic. Another favourite, pocket watch. I had a pocket watch as the White Rabbit, and I just got to swing it around. Luckily, it did not fall out during any of the dance numbers, because that would have been hideous. So it was such a challenge to do the Forever number as one of the Dragon's Knights with these chains, and we had to dance with the chains, and it was so funny because from time to time one of us chains would snap, so the stage management would just have to fix that for the next show or the day after. Dancing so hard. One of the boys tripped on their chain, but they recovered themselves. I really loved the swamp house where we entered through the door. That was quite cute. And at the end, Gingy's head is popping out, and I just think it's really adorable. And also the way they did the farmhouse scene where Fiona transforms from human into ogre, but it's like a really quick scene change. It was cleverly done with the lighting, the way the set was, with the body double, of course. Oh my gosh. And then the Duloc stairs. A fun time. I love that number as well, with the flags. The flags is another prop that I really liked. Although it was a bit of a nightmare to begin with, but it's just like getting used to how to hold it. The Dragon's Cave. It was really cool. And every night I remember just watching it from the wings, just watching the transition from Donkey and Shrek across the bridge and into the castle. Oh, another thing, the projections, guys. I really love the projections personally because projections nowadays really level up a show if it's done well. So in our notes today, on the projection is a castle, and then the gauze comes up and the projection fades, and then you can see young Fiona. At the end, the young Fiona, teen Fiona, and adult Fiona are all there. The last note, I know it's today, with all the harmonies, da 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 da. And then it closes. It's like if you got a camera, right, on them, and then you pan out, and then you see the whole castle, that's what it looked like. It was so effective. So that was my favourite part with the projection side. All throughout the show, I had a White Rabbit. I was a guard. I was one of the Dragon's Knights. I was a Dulokian and a rat. So I had 5 characters. And I think me and Jabari, we had 9 changes in total, or 8 changes throughout the show. We had the most, I think, in the show. A lot of quick changes, underdressing and all that shenanigans. So my main one was being the White Rabbit. It was such a fun part to play. Kept hopping around all the time. And it got to the point where I had injured myself slightly because of all the jumping, because I chose to jump. The costume was so gorgeous. It's like a take on this Victorian elegant rabbit. The characters from Alice in Wonderland. So this gorgeous muted pink. It's like this pink I've never seen before. And the texture of it makes like suede velvet kind of material. The challenging thing about this was the prosthetic. So I had a prosthetic nose here. So I had to do my base makeup first. I'd put either glue on my face here or glue on the nose. At the beginning especially, it took me a while to get used to it, and like breathing while dancing as well. It was such a challenge. But towards the end of the tour and like the second half of the tour, I was absolutely fine. Like my skin was literally stained. My knight had beards, and sometimes it's so funny because it would just get into my mouth, or like the beard would like shoot up to our eyes. That was definitely one of my favourite numbers because it's just more like sassy, gave it more flavour, our own individuality, and it was just a lot of fun to have that contrast within the show and to be able to sing that as well. Being on stage with Charisse Richards. Cherry, if you're watching this, I love you. If you don't know her, get to know. Another character, the Dulokians. It was a quick change for some of the boys. So we were guards. We underdress our Duloc costume, some of it, and then, you know, just whip it off and then put it all on, and then the triangles, the lipstick, and then we went on. I think Duloc is definitely one of my favourite numbers after the dragon number. It was just so fun, full of energy, fantastic. My other character was a rat, and so this was only in Morning Person number, which opens our Act 2, and yeah, it was just so fun to just be these like Broadway, dazzle, shining, dancing rats for Princess Fiona. Fun energy to do the rat tap, and that was definitely the most difficult number to rehearse. There were so many different parts. For the first few weeks, months even, we had to just practice and practice every single time before we went on. I really loved our tail. I love being a rat, and also the top hat with the ears. Oh, it was so cute. Another costume was the guard. We had the Ballad of Farquaad in Act 2. Stern guards like become camp all of a sudden. We had our like spears. It was definitely more limited movement. So let me talk about the actual touring side. I was able to stay with a few friends. I was really grateful for them, so I could save up for that week, save the allowance that we were given. And it was so funny because the first few weeks, the first few venues, the hosts, they all had cats, and I was just in cat heaven. I had a generally good experience with digs and accommodation throughout the tour. What I've learned that I love about tour is meeting new people and our dressers. Every venue there was a different local dresser. Definitely the exploring the cities. It was just so nice to see the rest of the UK. I just realised how beautiful like it is, you know, working while travelling. During the final few venues, I was up for auditions for other shows. So I had to just organise myself and juggle around auditions in London and coming back to wherever we were for tour to do the show in the evening. So from the first show compared to the last show, it is completely different. You know, as a company, you mould and change, and there's more clarity in the movements, or clarity in you know, certain aspects of the script or the story. So obviously it definitely like changed for the good. And my family watched it first in Plymouth, and then they watched it again in Southampton, the second half of the tour, and they said that they found it funnier, a lot more settled in and cleaner. And you know, that's just the nature of doing a show for a long period of time. With tour, it's just amazing because you have this family on tour with you, and that is your life. I didn't do the London run because I was doing another show. I think 3 months later, I got to see the London run with most of the previous cast members, but also there were new cast members, and it was just so fun to see like how different it was, and to finally see it because I never watched it ever. It was nice to see it out front and just absorb it in its glory. So it was really, really, really amazing. At the Eventum Apollo, so it was, yeah, a bigger theatre. So that is it for today's video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about my whole Shrek tour experience, just comment down below and I will answer them. Please like, comment, subscribe to this channel, and I'll be back with more videos every Monday. Goodness. Woo! Peace.